Well, you know, I was born in Cananea, Sonora, Mexico. And I'm from a family of 10 boys and 1 girl. See, my father died when I was 12 years of age. He left mother with 11, 12 kids. And getting the beans on the table was not easy. So mother became a partera, a midwife. And I think about every Mexican kid in Porterville and Douglas was delivered by my mother. I'd help her now and then. She'd ask me to help her out. I'd go out. All my brothers had to quit school. They all dropped out of school at 4th, 5th, 6th grade. And the only ones that went to high school, a brother in Flagstaff and myself, went to high school. In school in Douglas, it's a good school. The teacher was from Michigan. She couldn't even pronounce my name, Raul. She called me Raul. And then one day in the morning, came into my class, put arms on my shoulder. He said, Raul, I believe that you can be a very good student, but you're not doing your work. You're being lazy. You're not doing the work. I believe in you. And then she lifted her hand and walked down the aisle. And that evening going home, I thought to myself, that teacher must care for me. She thinks I can be a good student. And from that next day when coming into class, I did become a good student. So that was my motivation, made me move to become a very good student. Yeah, I was still living in Porterville. I remember that a lot of publicity was given about Governor Hunt coming to Douglas. And Governor Hunt was the first governor of Arizona. And there were going to be free hot dogs and hamburgers at the park, 10th Street Park. So I got 2 other buddies of mine, about my age, went to the park. Then we got the hot dogs and the hamburgers, and finally somebody blew a bugle and said, the governor's here, come to the podium. And I had a bandstand. So I moved to the bandstand and put my arm on the edge of the bandstand. Here comes this man in a white linen suit, a pith helmet, hunter's helmet, and thick eyeglasses and a mustache looked like a walrus. So I kept staring at him, he's kind of a strange man. And he got up and gave a typical political speech. Ladies and gentlemen of Douglas, Arizona, it's wonderful to be here on the Mexican border. It's the land of opportunity. Here we have an opportunity of people from Mexico to come to the United States and make something of themselves. And he says, who knows, one of these days, one of these little kids, pointed right at me, will be governor of Arizona. And I didn't know what governor was, and I cared less. All I wanted was free hot dogs and hamburgers. Well, who would know it 40, 50 years later, I did become governor of Arizona. That's a small world in that sense. And now that park is named the Raul Castro Park. But in going to high school, I assumed that it wasn't enough to just leave home, go to class, sit down in the seat, at the end of class, go home. I felt I had a lot of activities in high school that I should join them. I should participate, be active in high school. So I went up for football. I became a quarterback on the high school team, the Douglas Bulldogs. I was very aggressive, a good tackler, and et cetera, and bright enough to run the team. So I was the quarterback. And then I went on for track and ran the half mile, and then played basketball, but I was too short for basketball. Played basketball 1 year, then I stayed with track and football. You're wondering how I got to college. Well, I was got a summer job at S.H. Crest and Company in Douglas. I was washing windows. As I was washing windows, a man came over and said, are you Raul Castro? I said, yes, sir. What can I do for you? I'm Ralph Osborne. I am on a recruiting trip, football trip for Arizona State Teachers College. I'm looking for a quarterback, and they tell me you're a good quarterback. I'd like to offer you a scholarship to play football at Arizona State Teachers College. I said, well, thank you very much, but I have to discuss it with my mother. Give me 2 days and I'll let you know. So that, of course, I went home, discussed it with mother. And I said, oh, by all means, son, go to school, get an education. That's how I ended up in Flagstaff. I was in Tucson, I'm just out of law school, etc. And I went to a barbershop, Nayo Cojero in West Congress. Most of the Mexican-American people frequented that barbershop. And that day they had about 5 young people there in the barbershop complaining and griping about low wages and segregation, etc., discrimination. And I looked at them and I said, look, you guys do a lot of complaining, a lot of griping, but what do you do about it? Do you participate? Are you active? You don't. All you do is blabber, open your mouth, but do nothing about it. I'm going to run for county attorney. He said, looked at me, he said, you're crazy. Who's going to vote for you? You're born in Mexico, of Mexican parents. Who do you think will vote for you for county attorney in Tucson? Well, I ain't going to try it. I ran for county attorney and was elected county attorney. To this very day, 50 years later or more, no one else has been elected county attorney in Tucson. I was the first and last county attorney of Mexican descent in Pima County, Tucson, and the first judge, Superior Court judge. After county attorney, I decided to run for Superior Court judge. Judges weren't appointed then, they were elected. So I ran for judge of Superior Court and got elected twice, 2 terms. And one day, a man by the name of Lyndon Johnson appeared on the horizon in Tucson. President Kennedy had been killed. Lyndon Johnson was then running for president of the United States of America. He was the vice president. We all went to Armory Park in Tucson. I gave my speech at Armory Park, campaigning for judge of Superior Court, and he gave his running for president. So that's how we got to know each other. He left, and it wasn't until later on, about 6 months or a year later, a phone call came in from Carl Hayden's office in Washington saying, Judge, would you be interested in being the U.S. Attorney for the state of Arizona? I said, Senator Hayden, I believe in moving ahead. I have been county attorney for several years now in Pima County, judge of Superior Court. I've been a prosecutor already, and being U.S. Attorney means I'm a prosecutor. I've been that already. I want something that I can move ahead and keep on going. So he hung up, and that was it. A week later, the phone rang again, and same Carl Hayden. He apparently spoke to Lyndon Johnson. He said, Mr. President, this is Carl Hayden. I have a very busy judge in Arizona who wants to be an ambassador. And what can we do about it? What's his name? Raul Castro. Oh, I met him, I know him. But I don't know, I'm running for president. And they'll confuse Raul Castro with the Cuban Raul Castro. And I'm running, I want votes, I don't want to lose any votes. Can he change his name and use a mother's name? Acosta, my mother's name was Acosta. They gave me that option, I hung up. I said, no way, Jose. I like my name and I don't intend to change it. So they had no choice. A week later, they put my name in the ambassador job. I was elected ambassador to El Salvador under the name of Raul Castro. 6 months later, Lyndon Johnson, his wife, and Lucy, the daughter, appeared in El Salvador at a convention, Central American Convention, being held in Salvador. They stayed at our house, the American Embassy. So he was a very demanding president, and he stood in the limousine, etc. And he did everything what a president has to do. One day in the limousine, we were riding together. He said, Mr. Ambassador, you've been here long enough. Time has come for you to move on. I agree with you, Mr. President. He said, I'm having difficulty in Bolivia, Che Guevara. I need somebody there that knows the language fluently. Someone that has a political background, and you're it. I'd like to send you to Bolivia. Well, Bolivia is a very hardship post, very difficult post. I said, Mr. President, you must not be satisfied with my work to send me to Bolivia. It's a very difficult post. So that's the answer. It's a difficult post. I need somebody that's capable and competent, and you're it. I had no choice. So in the meantime, I left Bolivia, came to Tucson. At the airport, a fellow by the name of Secretary of the YMCA, and John Malloy, who's been a judge with me, a Superior Court judge, said, look, Raul, we want you to run for governor. I said, you're crazy. I've been in Latin America several years now. Nobody knows me. They've all forgotten me. He said, no, they haven't. Run for governor. We want you to run for governor. So I went into and thought it over. That's how I decided to run for governor. Yeah, on that basis. And of course, the sad part about it was that I did run and got elected, but only didn't stay the 4 years. I resigned after my second year as governor to go to be ambassador to Argentina. And at that time, it was Jimmy Carter was the president. I remember very well when I still talk to people, especially living in a border community, when people say "hush one" and $60 and etc. We can do better than that. There's no excuse for not getting an education. Look at the Nogales of this town. It's a small community and it has University of Arizona has a campus, Pima College has a campus, University of Phoenix has a campus here, Cochise College has a campus in Nogales. What is the excuse for not getting an education? You don't have to leave home, it's here. Just go to school and get an education. It's a very vital organization called the Hispanics Scholarship Fund. We must support it, we must use it, take advantage of it. And they're the ones that will help you out to have a member of the family have a college degree.